Hello chess friends, here is our game of the day and this one is quite a brilliant game. So this was played between two titans of the game. Playing white was Garry Kasparov and playing black was Viswanathan Anand. So this was in Tilburg 1991. In 1991 both the players were quite at their peak. Anand was a new in the top elites, but he was quite a dangerous opponent and Kasparov knows this. But this was 1991 and Kasparov was just killing people just left and right. He was destroying grandmasters, and this is a very great example of how he just diminished and destroyed his opponents, his rivals. So it's white to play Kasparov's move here. Pause the video and try to find the move that white played here. Alright, so I hope you come up with the correct move. White in the position played rook takes f6, eliminating the defender, and this one is really good. So let's see if what happens if the rook is ignored. Well, if queen takes d6, can you spot what white should play? White can play the very simple move rook f7, and after the reflection, just picking up the queen is good enough. What happens if the rook is captured? Then the very simple move knight e4 that comes with a fork and should win the game. So basically after rook f6, black's move is forced. He has to capture the rook with the g pawn, and now Kasparov continues with knight c2 e4, queen d4, and now you can see the one of the important ideas of sacrificing the rook was to create weaknesses. The f7 pawn is weak as well as the f6 pawn, and this can be exploited perfectly. So queen h5 played, attacking the f7 pawn. Rook f8 defends that. Now rook d1, introducing one more attacker in the game, and this is really critical. So queen e3, and now Kasparov switches the targets. The f7 pawn is no longer a target, but the f6 pawn is. So queen h4, attacking the f6 pawn. There is only one way to defend this, and it has to be defended because it's quite a critical point. So Anand plays queen f4, and this is something I really love about this game. This is simply insane. Kasparov in this position played queen to e1 with a very strong threat of playing queen to b4 and then threatening discovered checks. Why is this spectacular? Isn't it a kind of a good enough move? The reason this is spectacular is because Kasparov must have calculated the whole queen maneuver with queen h5, queen h4, and queen e1 with the idea of queen b4. At the moment he sacrificed the rook on f6. So while he was calculating the rook sacrifice, he calculated this move, and that is why this is so phenomenal. Because calculating a retreating move is not at all easy in chess. This is quite a brilliant calculation from Kasparov. So queen b4 threatened. Anand stops that with rook a4. Now queen c3. There are several threats. One other threat is to go queen c5 or even just queen c7, and that can be dangerous. So black plays rook to d4. Now we gotta take that. Queen f1 is thrown in. Just an intermediate move. We now play king h2. That's taken. And now how are you gonna continue here as white? Would you play queen c7 or queen c5? Only one of it is correct. Alright, if you played queen c7, well, that's hard luck because after bishop d7, black might be able to hold on in that position. It's very important that we play queen to c5, and that is what was played in the game. Now, white is threatening several moves. Knight f5 is quite a strong move. Knight c8 is definitely completely winning. So white is quite in a dominating position, and he's threatening so many threats. So what should black play? Something like queen f4 doesn't really work after g3, as we're gonna look at in a moment. In the game, Anand played king to d7, just getting out of the in the line from the line out of the fire, also controlling the c7 square, so the queen can no longer invade. But after white's move, that is knight to b5, this is quite a lost position. The threat is very simple. Simply going queen d6, king e8, and knight c7 would be a checkmate, or even knight f6. Well, so many threats. How can he continue? Well, he can try something like queen f4, check, but then white simply stays his ground and plays g3. There are no more checks because both the squares are perfectly guarded by the knight on e4. The knight can't be captured because of queen d6 followed by knight c7 checkmate. So it was in this position after queen f4 g3 that Anand resigned, and this was quite a brilliancy played by Garry Kasparov. Oh, I mean, apart from all the things The rook's hanging, the queen has to move. I mean, this is completely lost position. For example, if the queen goes to b8, then even knight f6 looks like a very strong move. The king has to move, and then everything's winning. I think this is quite a nice win. Yep, this would be a checkmate. So, quite a brilliant game by Kasparov. I particularly like the idea of playing over here. Queen h5, queen h4, and then queen e1. This was quite a brilliant maneuver, and Kasparov calculated this maneuver when he sacrificed the rook on f6, and that is why this is such a phenomenal game from Kasparov. So, well, it was quite a nice game. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel. More videos are on the way.